Greetings, greetings. You are now tuned into the vault. Trust Christian, own nothing, control everything. Just wanted to say thank you for listening live or in the replay. Today's going to be an awesome episode. Today we're going to be talking about business trust versus business held in trust. So, great episode and looking to bring the best content that we possibly can bring to you all. And so, once again, just thank you all so much for listening live or in the replay. If you would like to contact us, I'll give out the email. I know I don't do it always in the beginning, but if you would like to contact the Vault for a consultation on what is it that we talk about, it is Christian@trustchristian.com. Once again, it's Christian@trustchristian.com. And so, thank you, Sandra, for tuning in live and saying hello. Appreciate that. And so, I wanted to talk about business trust versus business held in trust. Thanks, philosophers. Thanks for tuning in live. We're going to talk about something and we're going to go straight from the IRS website. I think that it is important to, just be as transparent and honest as possible. I think I've done an episode about this before, but that's neither here nor there. Thanks, Bomo, for tuning in live, MV Efficiency. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in live and in the replay. Once again, always I'm going to thank you all. You all are the reason why I actually do this. I don't need to hear myself speak. So it's always awesome to see people receive the information and move in a fashion in which they can aid their families, because this is about being able to protect your family wealth, because wealth is passed along through families. If you don't have children or you don't have anyone else to pass the wealth along to, it's no benefit. So let's just talk about this business trust versus business held in trust. Why we need to talk about it? We need to talk about it today because I get so many people contacting us at the vault talking about these consultations, wanting to know, about a business trust, a proverbial business trust. I even hear lawyers throw it around, and that's just not what's accurate out there. And I'm about to go ahead and put it to rest right now tonight on this episode and in general. So let's just go ahead and start out. We're coming straight from the IRS website, ladies and gentlemen. This is where everybody's being compliant. Everybody wants to be compliant to the IRS website. Thanks, Shay, for tuning in live. Everybody wants to be IRS compliant, but then no one wants to go actually to the website and read it or something. And so we're going to address it directly from their website, not from, the Trust Christian version. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you go to irs.gov, you can actually type in businesses and / small businesses and an abusive tax trust and evasion schemes, special types of trust. And I'm actually going to copy and paste it and put it in a chat for everybody, for everyone that's listening live. Just give me 1 second. I'll put it in a chat. And so I'm going to put it in a chat. If you can go back and listen, see the chat later on, then you'll be in good position and good standing too. So, for everybody that's online, if you want to click there and then actually scroll down to abusive, to where it says business trust, it says the term business trust is not used in the Internal Revenue Code. So, how is someone selling you a business trust? Okay, because there's already different types of trust, and when you're not aware of what's private, because what we're talking about is private. That's why they said they can't even use it in the public. They don't even want to use it in the public. They don't use it in the public. They say public is IRS, that's governing public affairs. Private is private. Private means non-government. Public means with government. So this says business trust is not used in the Internal Revenue Code. That means business trust is not used in the public. It says the regulations require that trusts operate a trade or business be treated as a corporation, partnership, sole proprietorship. If there's always more, but it's a common. It says if the grantor, beneficiary, or fiduciary materially participates in the operations or daily management of the business. Now, see, I know it just got really wordy. I know it did, ladies and gentlemen. There's a lot of. I told you all this is where they speak legalese. So what they say may not mean what it says, and what you think it means is not what it really means because it's legalese. This is legal information. This is the law. So, I definitely want to address that. Um, so here we go. Let's go ahead and address this even further. We're going to break down, we already broke down the first sentence. We're going to break down the second sentence. See, this is called interpretation. You using your cognitive skills and not having a lawyer interpret something because you didn't go get the legal dictionary to actually reference yourself. But you can now. The regulations require that a trust operating a trade or business. It says a trade or a business. Those are things that you want to be very clear on. And what are you doing? Are you doing a trade or are you doing a business? It says a trust. Now it says requires trust. And it says trust operating. Ladies and gentlemen, this is one of those things, if you are not educated properly, the situation can be a disaster for you. I promise you. Because there's over 80 different types of trust. Then it says it's operating it. Well, what's a trust? If there's no such thing as a business trust, if they don't acknowledge it. Required a trust because you got to know what type of trust to have to operate the trade or business. Because if you don't, it will be treated as a corporation, partnership, sole proprietorship. But it says why. It says if the grantor, beneficiary, or fiduciary materially, so that means you have to do something, material. That means it's something physical. It's not just a thought, because everybody says they're in trust, but they're in either in thought or they're in deed. And guess what? The deed is in that material. So let's go further. The material, which is the substance. We can do an episode. I actually will do an episode this month on substance versus form. That was actually something we do in trustee training immediately. Substance versus form, but materially participates in the operations. It goes right back to operations. Here we go. Not only operations, it says or daily management of the business. Daily management of the business. Yeah, daily management of the business. You have to materially participate in the operations or the daily management of it. It says that the grantor maintains control of the trust. Ooh, there's over 80 different types of trust. Do you know if your trust can operate where the grantor can maintain control or not maintain it? That's what we educate you on in trustee training. It says if the grantor maintains control of the trust, the grantor trust rules will apply. Oh, wow. The grantor trust. So see, this is where if you don't know what you're reading, you won't know what you're reading. There is a thing called the grantor trust. And guess what? If you have a grantor trust, there's rules for that. But most people don't know what a grantor trust is from a business trust, the one that they don't use in the Internal Revenue Code. But there are public rules governing a grantor trust, and the rules will apply. Otherwise, the trust will be treated as here we go. They start giving you more terms now. So you have to know what you're talking about when you're talking to the lawyer. It said the trust will be treated as a simple or complex trust depending on the trust instrument. Now it says they gave a period. It says otherwise. You know what otherwise is? It's called other. That's who we are. We're the other. The private is the other. Otherwise, the trust will be treated as a simple or complex trust depending on the instrument. So now you have to, what's the instrument? The trust instrument. The trust instrument? I thought I was supposed to be in a trust. What's the trust instrument? This is the education you get in private trustee training. So, do you really have a business trust? Well, no. The IRS says they don't acknowledge a business trust. Well, what do they acknowledge? Here we go. They acknowledge a business held in trust, a business operating in trust. That's what they are okay with. They operate. That's what they acknowledge because it just lets you know that in that statement. And so I just want to be very clear. See, I could do a long-winded episode. Oh, let's explain this and explain that. Oh, you know what? Actually, I have additional goodies for you all today. Actually, let's keep scrolling down on the page, ladies and gentlemen, as you follow live through the actual link. Okay, let's go to this infamous state because everybody now wants to talk about these. What do we call them? Public state created trust. Okay, public state created trust. Okay, like everyone has a public state created company, corporation. Okay, so let's look at what the state ones are because everybody says, oh, you go to Delaware, you can save some money. If you go to Nevada, you can save some money. If you go to Wyoming, you can save some money. If you're in New Mexico, you can save some money. It's like, well, what's the new state going to be in the next 5, 10, 20 years? Who knows? But we're going to go ahead right now, or Massachusetts, that's the state you go to, or Pennsylvania. You got, then you got these lawyers, oh, just go to the common law state. Okay, so let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Delaware Business Trust or Alaska Business Trust. Oh, wow, these are the havens, supposedly, right? The trust established to hold and invest assets with greater flexibility than allowed by most trusts. Okay, so they're telling you there's something they acknowledge these type of trust. Okay, then that's fine, no problem. You actually want them to acknowledge it in terms. Permits limited liability. Oh wow, so it sounds like a limited liability company. Creator Creditor protection. Wow, creditor protection. So it's kind of like asset protection because if it's not in your name, then it's protecting people, creditors, things like that. And valuation discounts. Sophisticated term. Once again, you know what valuation means. Someone's valuing the company, but just letting you know that you actually won't lose value via taxes and other things. Okay, because it's discounts. Discounts means you lose money. You don't make money if you're discounting something. Valuation discounts. You don't want to lose money for the valuation of the entity. It says these trusts are a creation of Delaware and Alaska legislatures. Oh wow, that means this is a state created entity. Have no impact on taxation of trust for federal purposes. Do you see how there's a separation of state and federal? Do you see that? It says there's tax on the federal level, then there's legislative with your states. These business trusts, oh wow. Did you see them put the term there in quotations, ladies and gentlemen? The business trust have no special distinction in the Internal Revenue Code and would be a simple, complex, or grantor trust depending on the terms of the trust agreement. So do you understand how powerful the trust instrument is? And I misread it. I said trust agreement. I meant trust instrument. It's the trust instrument. It says the regulations require that trust operating a trade or business be treated as a corporation, partnership, sole proprietorship if the grantor, beneficiary, or fiduciary materially participates in the operations of the daily management of the business. Filing requirements would depend on this classification. So, do you see how it's all about the classification of that type of trust? Hmm. Ladies and gentlemen, this is called public and private. So, what do? We separate assets. What do? We put you in a position where you own nothing, but you control everything. You are a fiduciary right now of your family. That's why you're having to deal with the tax situation. And I can tell you right now, you're always going to be a fiduciary. Unless you take on that fiduciary responsibility and learn fiduciary law, which is what we go over in private trustee training, and know how to go obtain the information to protect your family so you can find the right lawyers and find the right accountants, that is what we provide as trustees. It is a private community of trustees. It's important to be a part of a community. This information is circulated in a community. That's why Warren Buffett and Bill Gates work together. They're on each other's foundations. You can go look that up. The Berkshire Hathaway Foundation has Bill Gates on it, and the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation has Warren Buffett on it. It's not a coincidence. The information is circulated through communities. And so when you're talking about the information that's controlled, and given to the public and says, go get your LLC, limited liability. Why didn't the lawyer tell you or mention to you those type of trust as well? Now you have options. That's what we provide, options. So I just wanted to share that. If I have any questions, feel free to type them into the chat. Uh, Appreciate everybody for their comments. Philosophist, the creditor guy, uh, H88. Thank you so much, you all. So, I guess that's why substance is mad important. And that's what philosophy says. Substance is always important when it even talks about being a material participant and how to make sure that your contract is set up to where. All right, everyone. Here it goes. You all can reference. This guy's name is Roy Seabag. I like Roy. The reason why I like Roy is because Roy is structured properly, and that's the bottom line. Roy Seabag. I'm gonna pull up Roy Seabag. He is the founder. It says he is a contrarian. Let me just go ahead and pull this guy up. This is hilarious. Okay, no. When you Google the name Roy Seabag and do it on a computer, ladies and gentlemen, this man is a the company makes over he pretty much he's the chief executive officer. For all you all that think you need to be the owner or something, that he's not the owner. I'm gonna show you how he's not the owner, okay? Because if you were the owner, why aren't you doing what Roy Seabag is doing? Roy Seabag serves as a chief executive officer for Gold Money Incorporated, goldmoney.com, goldmoney.com. Okay, this company is publicly listed on the Toronto Stock Exchange, and when you go look at his salary, it says he takes $1. Why is Roy taking $1, ladies and gentlemen? Roy's 33 years old. I'm excited. Me and Roy are in the same millennial category. Beast in it, doing well. Roy said, I'm going to take $1. The company is revenued over $500 million, ladies and gentlemen. $500 million. Founded in 2001. These are called individuals that are structured properly. He knows that there is no such thing as a business trust, as business held in trust. He's not a material participant, substance. He serves. Oh, you can serve? Yeah, you know how when you go to church, you serve. You serve at church, right? Right, that's charity. That's what individuals do. They serve in a charitable capacity to the company, and you pull down $1. So, thank you all for tuning in live. If I don't get any questions, I'm gonna move on. But I definitely appreciate you all for tuning in live. This info is more powerful than Tony Robbins' Money Master Game and Unshakable. You got that right. And I'll tell you why, Anthony Porter. Thank you for making that comment. I'll tell you why it's more powerful. It's very simple. First of all, everything's a contract, verbally or written on paper, implied or expressed. That's the first thing. Secondly, it's not about how much money you make, it's about how much you keep. That is a philosophy and a lifestyle we live by. How much money are you saving? See, you're not doing well if you're not saving. How can you not save? That's the culture we live in America. It's not a saving culture, it's a borrowing culture. So, that's anti-saving if you're borrowing because usually if you don't have it, you just don't get it. That's a difference. And so very credit driven. Uh, the philosopher says he's in control, but the owner must trust him. Ha ha ha, you're funny. Yeah, I would say he is in control, but Roy is structured properly. That's all it comes down to. He understands business trust versus business held in trust. He completely is put himself in a position. So thank you, Belmo. I do my best, man. I do my best to bring it. I'm actually getting ready to wrap it up. I think it's been, very powerful. Uh, so, I just wanted to share with you all, what's on my heart, what I'm going through and studying as a trustee and making it a point to practice on a daily basis and just know that trustee training is a lifestyle. People always ask, well, how long is the trustee training? The trustee training is a continuing education program. How long are you going to be an entrepreneur? Forever. As a trustee, you're a fiduciary. How long are you going to be a fiduciary? Forever. The only difference is it's a private education as opposed to a public education. Public education, you know what they teach. You know the whole story. It's like it's a nursery rhyme. Go to go to school, get an education, get a good job, and retire at 65. I think they raised Social Security now to 70. So you retire at 70. And you keep hearing them say they're kicking the can down the road because people are living longer. Any excuse will do. So it's all about taking the matters into your own hands, being in control and not owning anything because that philosophy of owning is flawed. Anything you own, you can be sued or taxed for, period. So, lifestyle, ladies and gentlemen, excited to bring that forth. Uh, and thank you all. Appreciate you all. Christian at trustchristian.com. Look forward to hearing from you all in the future if you all are going to contact us. Otherwise,